What was that made you decide this was a case worth investigating?
Well, as a reporter, you have to fish through stories every day. That's all you do is get news tips, and you have to decide which of these tips is worthy of your time and your resources to really go forward. In this case, the fact that he was a sheriff's corrections officer, the fact that there was a lot of things they pointed to in terms of the evidence that didn't make sense.
You've found that, as we have, that unless the police do a very thorough examination of the death scene or the crime scene on the night it happens, that can really cause a problem later on down the road for finding justice.
Absolutely. And all of the sides agree these types of cases, you have to look at them as a homicide from the beginning. And if you look at the facts of the case, it does not appear this was treated like a homicide investigation from the beginning. He wasn't separated from his children. He wasn't separated, he wasn't immediately treated as a suspect and is allowed to roam around the property using his phone. That's not how you treat someone who you suspect of a homicide. I think that they were, from the beginning, the Evans Police Department was out of their league.
Was it hard knowing when this trial started that it wasn't just Tom Fallis who was really on trial? In some way, you were, and your reporting.
Sure. That was difficult. It was difficult to listen to my reporting become part of the defense theory as to why we were all in that courtroom when I knew that wasn't true.
I'm curious to see what you'd say with this. You're not reporting right now. Did you move into management in part because this case involved more than you ever expected or ever encountered before in a case?
It's a question I've asked myself a lot. It was grueling and it was draining. I mean, it's one of the reasons why in the end I decided I needed a break and I want to try my hand at something else. Yeah, it's definitely part of the reason. I don't know what happened that night. I don't know whether Tom Fallis had a role in his wife's death. I can tell you what the facts suggest, but ultimately the jury didn't feel like there was enough investigation, and so that's an indictment on the system more than it's an indictment on Tom Fallis.